content. Welcome back to this channel where we provide premium legal content. Today in this video, we want to look at a very interesting topic. But before we look at this interesting topic, it's important that we look at some scenarios that would help us better understand this topic. Now let's look at the first scenario. Supposing that Anne, Clement, and Mary is married to Clement, they all decided to go on a shopping spree. And while they were at the mall, where they were actually shopping, they saw one woman who walked up to Anne and began screaming at the top of her voice, "You this woman, you this habitual and perpetual liar, you husband snatcher, look at how you have ruined my life, you have come again." And this woman continued saying this repeatedly before walking away against Anne. If Anne feels strongly about what this woman has said, what possible remedy can Anne seek in court? What possible relief can she ask the court to grant? If you have an answer to this question, drop your answer in the comment section to this video. Now, let's look at the second scenario. Supposing that Abdul, a job seeker, gets to the lobby where he was about to be interviewed, and while sitting at the lobby, Aisha, Abdul's former colleague or colleague where he was working, walks into the lobby and begins to scream at the top of her voice, "You again! You again! I hope you have not come to continue your shopping spree. I hope you have not come to continue your stealing spree. You, Abdul, I hope you have not come to continue your stealing spree." She continues saying that. Coincidentally, the hiring manager walked in and overheard Aisha saying all of this. And because of what he heard, he decided not to employ Abdul. What possible remedy can Abdul seek in court if Abdul feels strongly that Aisha had lied against him? What possible remedy would the court even grant against Aisha? Well, if you have an answer to this, drop your answer in the comment section to this video. Let's look at the third scenario. Supposing you bought a pack of, XYZ noodles, a carton of XYZ noodles, and you bought them last week, but this week, precisely today, you decided to cook some of them. When you opened the carton and you took out one pack, you discovered that inside that one pack, rather than seeing so many noodles, you saw roaches. To your amazement, you now decided to, let me look at the second pack. You opened the second pack. To your surprise, you did not only see roaches, but you also saw termites inside this pack of noodles. Well, you now open the third one, and what you discover were very, very shocking. You discovered that this one was moldy, termite roaches were inside. Feeling very bitter and angry, you took to social media and you encourage your fans, you did a review, encourage your fans as well as your viewers to boycott buying XYZ noodles. In fact, you even went further to say that XYZ noodles is the worst noodles that you have ever, bought in your entire life. If XYZ noodles feel strongly about what you have said, what possible remedy can XYZ noodles seek in court against you? Or if you feel strongly about what you have also said, what possible defenses can you raise in court? These and many more are the issues that we'll be looking at in this series of videos that have to do with defamation. Now, but what is defamation really? Well, by virtue of Section 373 of the Criminal Code, as well as Section 391 of the Penal Code, defamation has been defined. In a paraphrased manner, defamation basically implies any statement, whether oral or written, that is said against or about a person that lowers the standard or the estimation of that person in the eyes of right-thinking members of the society. That statement that is said, whether oral or written, if it exposes the person to hatred, to contempt, or public ridicule, could also be defamatory. If that statement discredits a person's office, discredits a person's profession, or discredits a person's trade, that statement could also be defamatory. If that statement injures the person's financial credit, that could also be defamatory. If that statement leads to the general public shunning or avoiding this particular person that you have said the statement against, that could also be defamatory. However, something that you should note is that there are exceptions to defamation. What are the possible defenses that you can raise when a person is being alleged to have defamed another person? Well, if you stick around in this video, you will get to understand these possible defenses that you can raise when you have been alleged to have defamed another person. Well, let's look at another interesting aspect of defamation. What are the types of defamation? There are basically two types of defamation. There is slander as well as libel. Slander basically implies the impermanent form of defamation. So usually it is the oral form of defamation that is said in an impermanent form, while libel is the permanent form of defamation. An example would include a defamatory statement that is said in a written product. It could be a book, it could be in a print, it could be in the newspaper, it could be said on the TV, it could also be said on the radio. In any form that is permanent, that is libel. Now you have watched this video up to this point. It does appear to me that you have in one way or the other been touched by this video. It's important that we bring to your knowledge that this channel needs to grow, and you can support the growth of this channel by subscribing to this channel and clicking on the notification button when you do so, so that you can continue to receive premium legal content that drops on this channel. In our next video, we'll look at two very important things, which is, first and foremost, what are the possible defenses that a person who has been charged or a person who has been, brought to court for defamation, what are the possible defenses that this person can raise before the court? Secondly, we would also look at what are the possible reliefs that a person who goes to court for defamation can seek before the court, as well as what are the possible reliefs that the court would actually or most likely grant when a case of defamation is brought before the court. If you stick around in this series of videos, the guarantee that we have is that you would, in one way or the other, would know what the possible reliefs as well as what the possible defenses would be in a case of defamation. Join me on the next video.